intense national disasters, destructive winds, catastrophic flooding. These are among the world's biggest concerns, and the El Niño effect only heightens the potential to see these harmful events take place. So what is the El Niño effect? The pattern is defined by above-average Pacific Ocean temperatures for prolonged periods of time. Air pressure drops over the central and eastern Pacific, while trade winds begin to weaken or even blow eastward. There is no definitive pattern for the occurrence of El Niños, but they tend to appear every 2 to 7 years, with an average of every 5 years, and the effects last anywhere from 9 months to 2 years. Niño has a sister that also shares a similar rate of occurrence. La Niña is defined by cooler waters in the Pacific. It is most easily described as having the opposite effects of El Niño in the parts of the world most impacted by these weather events. They may be different, but make no mistake, both of these events have a profound global impact. So how about these names? Why Spanish?
El Niño is Spanish for the Niño.
The phrase El Niño originated all the way back in the 1600s when fishermen on the South American coast noticed the warmer temperatures and noticed the impact it had on their occupation. 4 centuries later, fish and other aquatic life continued to leave the warmer water in search of a cooler home during El Niño years. The upwelling on the South American coast near the equator creates a huge economic issue for coastal countries that rely on the fish market. The effects reach much farther than the fish, though. These effects can be disastrous. Evidenced by the 1997-1998 El Niño event, this was the most intense El Niño ever recorded. It resulted in 20,000 deaths, slumping economies, and nearly $100 billion in damage stemming from floods, droughts, fires, cyclones, and mudslides. That event nearly 20 years ago has received more attention this year as an intense El Niño has developed in 2015. In fact, this year's event has surpassed 97 and 98 in some ways already. For example, at the peak of the El Niño in November of 97, ocean temperatures were 2.8 degrees Celsius above the average. That number was reached on the 4th of November this year. A measurement recorded on November 18th showed a 3.1 degrees Celsius deviation. While other measurements do not match up, this El Niño's oceanic index is projected to only intensify through the winter months. Why is this concerning to so many? The changing climate has been noted worldwide, and many are attributing this anomaly of an El Niño to warmer ocean temps associated with a warming planet.
In the Bay are also continuing to adjust. They're much warmer than usual. Some scientists say it's a sign that there's a strong El Niño on the way.
The state of our planet has been talked about more than ever this year, and with some of the events we've seen, it's clear that something is changing. This October, the warm water led to the formation of Hurricane Patricia, the most powerful Pacific hurricane ever measured, with winds exceeding 200 miles per hour. Now, the storm did not wreak as much havoc as expected, but raised concern across the globe. And in August, Hurricane Fred formed near the equator in a cool Atlantic Ocean just off the coast of Africa. This hurricane was so rare that there had only been one recorded hurricane in history that formulated farther to the east. This year's El Niño has raised concern for the future, but don't get too worried yet.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about the long-term prospects of individual El Niño events in the future. With a warming ocean due to climate change, you might expect these stronger El Niños to become more frequent. To the point where it is today, I'm not sure if we'll get to that again.
We interviewed Emerson College students and Neil Patrick Harris to find out their knowledge on El Niño and the current weather dilemmas facing the world. Here's what they and Neil Patrick Harris had to say.
Do you know how El Niño affects the weather?
I'm guessing that it's causing, is climate change maybe a result of El Niño?
No.
I don't know anything about El Niño.
No,
wait, can you?
No,
wait.
No, you're fine.
So wait, you're saying?
We'll edit that out.
Wait,
Here, this band around
wait.
the
What is El
equator.
Niño?
They call it El Niño, but that takes place over water needs to condition. Okay. Do you know how El Niño affects the weather? He's knowledgeable.
Which could be very.
I'm trying not to laugh because I knew you wanted to laugh.
Very dangerous.
Dangerous.
Guys, I don't know much about weather. I'm bad at science. That's why I dropped out of science.
Does it mean like there's gonna be more storms? Does that like cause? I don't know how it works.
El Nino is when the water, there's like a period of time where the water is warming, and La Nina is the opposite, like where the water is cooler.
I'm taking environmental ethics now. We're learning about climate change. And it's just becoming a big issue, and the Earth is getting warmer and warmer.
You've seen photos via Twitter of Ben Papandrea working out at the gym. What do you think of his muscular makeup?
Oh, jeez.
How do you have access to that? I like them.